Welcome everybody to Formula FG Round 15 live from Monza in Italy. It is a big hello today to Tim Engberink in the commentary box.
Hey Aiden, nice to have me.
And we've had qualifying so far. It's extremely interesting for once. I'll use extremely because the king that is Jack Hunsley is not on pole. It is actually Pablo Deal who was able to take it by a smidgen over 200s. How did you feel qualifying went?
I think Pablo Deal did a great job of qualifying on pole. It's usually Hunsley, but this time Deal just edges with just the narrowest of margins. Utser and Rinho did a great job in third and fourth. Sigulakis and Engbrink, the two speedies, qualified in fifth and seventh. Foro did a great job in sixth. Then you have Boner in 8th, who's doing a great job the last few races. Dovizioso in 9th, and Andy Black in 10th.
Yeah, and he's got his teammate Ockelsager right behind in the second Viper as well, so it's good for the Viper team to be starting that far up. We look a bit further down the grid. Noax in 14th, not a bad effort from the Australian. Two Apexes, 15th and 17th. We look down to 21st on the grid, and we have our debutant, Dewald Nal from South Africa in his Evo GP. Not too bad. He's not qualified at the back. What do you think he'll be looking for this race?
I think for the first race, I think he'll just be happy with a finish. Just finish. I think if he crashes out, I think it will be a little bit tough for him.
For sure, but he's been brought in by Mr. Utser to give him a bit of experience, possibly for next season, and to have a bit of a go this season. So it's good to see a new driver on the grid, and we wish him all the best. But to the race then, it is going to be a dry one, as you can see, and it's going to be 100%. So if a similar track to this, which I would say is the German Hockenheimring, if that was anything to go by, we should be in for a pretty good one.
Yeah, of course.
Nonetheless, we will head over to the grid right now then. Here we go, Formula FG, round 15, the Italian Grand Prix. Rightio then, we are on the grid for the Italian Grand Prix. We get to 4 lights, we get to 5 lights. Lights are out and the race is on. Deal then at the front of the field with Hunsley next to him as one of the seeders is looking up the inside into the first corner. Hunsley looking around the outside, Deal as well, and they're going to have a drag race down to the Curva Grande.
Yeah, of course. Great start for Hunsley. Almost gets Deal.
They're still fighting for it.
Yeah.
As they go down towards the first chicane, Hunsley's on the inside, but Deal will be able to take it, so he will control the Italian Grand Prix.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, Rinho also passed Utser for third.
Indeed. We'll have a look back, because obviously we didn't see much through the back of the field. Just having a look here at the start, looks all nice, bit of a traffic jam. Seemingly everybody getting through just fine.
Yeah, no crashes.
Back live though. Sharp here in a massive train led by, I believe that would be Noack.
The new Noack train.
So prepare for the slipstream battles to begin then. As we go back to the front, Deal has got the two DTKs. They'll be looking for him. They've got a lot of power in that Toyota engine.
Yeah. Rinho is also closing in on Jack Hunsley.
And I think that was Foro looking down the inside at the Parabolica on Sigulakis. Cedars came into this race definitely with a lot of with a large upgrade just for Monza, as I think Hunsley might have been looking. Yes, Hunsley's gone through on Deal then.
Oh, surprising.
Good move from the Brit. He's now pulled out quite a gap, if I be honest, to Deal.
Yeah, he had the fastest lap as well, so he has good pace. He has good pace here.
I think Rinjaho is definitely right on the back of the Brazilian, so he's going to have to... Oh, Hunsley goes wide! He's into the gravel trap.
Wide.
There goes Deal, there goes Rinjaho, there goes Utsa.
Sigulakis might as well jump him.
Sigulakis definitely in the slipstream. Foro's not too far away. Greek driver, have a look to the inside. He's there. And they have to both back out a little bit. As Foro makes a large lockup into the second part of the Ascari chicane. I'm not sure why he did that. And
well, Hunsley begins to make some faults. I think it all started in Germany, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he made a mistake
when he went off the track.
Engbrink there up the inside at Parabolica. Nice and easy. Burner going to have a look up the inside of Foro. Oh, and there's Noack. He's back on the track.
Again.
They all... Now, we had a yellow flag before that. And I'm not entirely sure if that was him again. We'll try to have a look back. No, Chaco and Rautavara there had a coming together.
Yeah. The two KF1s in 17th and 18th, I guess.
Yep, running a Socceroos livery this weekend in Italy, and there's Noack.
Ooh.
Poor guy. He's had quite a lot of hard hits this season, more than anyone really ever deserves in an entire career. And that's a massive shame for the Australian. Qualified nicely, wasn't running too badly, but 2 laps, and that's his day done.
Shame for him.
Thankfully, nobody else caught up in it. As Rinjaho. Now, I'm not sure what's happened here, but Deal's moved back twice.
Oh. I think he made a mistake.
Yep, there he is at the first chicane. Goes straight through the middle of it. There goes Rinjaho. There'll go Utsa, and that allows Hunsley right back on the back of him. So just when you think this championship is going to, act normally, it just keeps throwing it up. Nothing stays the same.
Nothing is decided yet. We have, after this race, we have 3 races to go. If I'm not...
Two after this race. As Deal has a look down the inside, he'll get it done. Leaves Utsa under a lot of danger from Hunsley, and I think Sigulakis.
Yeah, Sigulakis, yeah.
Now this is interesting. They're going in 2 by 2. Deal's going to come out on top, I think. Utsa's on the inside, and I think that's where he didn't really want to be.
Yeah. Engbrink also closing in on the pack. It's the DTKs, the BRTs, and the Speedies, 1 to 6.
The top 3 teams in the championship at the moment, and you're looking at this and you can see why. But Rinjaho's gone.
Sigulakis is into 4, is it? Oh.
It's 4th, he's fighting for 3rd. He'll have a look around the outside of Deal, and if he might have a go up the inside, no, he's a bit too far behind. The Brazilian stays ahead.
Yeah.
So, now this is the interesting part where the DTKs have been let loose, but as we've seen recently, definitely Hunsley, these have been the situations where he's slid off, as we saw earlier.
Yeah. But he's moved himself to 2nd again.
So he's gotten away with it, but at the same time, he's got to watch his back, because yes, he's in 2nd, yes, he's ahead of Deal and Engbrink, but the man ahead of him is can win this championship.
Yeah, Rinjo's doing a great effort the last few races. 3 consecutive podiums.
That is something that during the break we will check for the viewers. We'll check the championship standings.
Yeah.
And bring back if what are the championship implications of certain positions. As Sigalakis nicely up the inside at the first chicane. So I've been calling the second chicane the first chicane. Engbrink.
Deal doing not so great. He moves from 1st to 4th, I guess. Yeah.
Engbrink here, he moved.
Oh, he's made a mistake.
He's gone back a few positions. Not sure what's happened there. Was just caught, I think, behind Utser a little bit. And that allowed Burner and Foro, Foro will move to the inside there. Not a bad move from the German.
No.
Looking back though, Daniel Harvey, large lockup. Should get away with it.
Let's hope so.
So far he's up 5 positions for Apex, so it's been a good race so far for him.
The Apexes have had a lot of bad luck, so it might just be that he finishes this race in a good points position.
Interesting looking back, we have Saeed down in 21st. Now he started 12th, so I'm not sure what's happened to him, or if he's just been swamped by the field behind. As we have,
I think he made a mistake, maybe.
As we look back and we saw a couple of them going 3 wide down the back straight there.
Yeah, this track is the best for slipstreaming, so yeah.
And while we say that, we're watching some of the cars that are getting dropped. Looking at the BRT, seem to be getting dropped. Deal getting dropped by Sigalakis a bit. I think Sigalakis is getting dropped by Hunsley. So while there's slipstreaming opportunities, some are still more than powerful enough to break it.
Yeah.
As here is Foro. He's got Engbrink having a look around the outside. And I think that's a done move, as here comes Dovizioso. Pulling up right behind.
Looking to the inside? No.
Rinho though, he's enjoying 2.1 seconds over Hunsley. That comes down to 1.9.
Gain 2 seconds of 0.2 seconds.
So Hunsley is definitely catching a little bit. Interesting to see what strategy and fuel is being used by the team.
Yeah, that's also a question in 100% races. You never know.
I think by the looks of that, Hunsley is going quite significantly lighter than Rinyaho.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, he is.
As here is Barrett. He came out with an apology to his team and competitors earlier this week. Be interesting to see where he'll go. He's out of contract at the Hungarian Monster team. I think it's going to be called Falcon next season. But see where he might end up. Definitely, he hasn't done too badly this season. As Deal now, he'll go off the circuit for a bit.
That's not good.
That's his second mistake. His second trip into the gravel.
So Utser caught him, and Burner and Engbrink also closed the gap a little bit.
I think the big thing here is that he's definitely completely fallen out of Sigalakis. This is slipstream.
Those now is gone.
Yeah. So for Deal, it seems it's going to be a case of he's going to have to hope a little bit that the guys in front make a bit of a mistake.
Yeah.
Having a look back, we can see Stefan Burner closing in on Utsa. He'll have a look to the inside.
I think he gets the job done. Yeah.
Seemingly he's ahead, and I think he'll hold it. Oh no.
The Elite 2 car's out.
Not a great day for Elite 2. It's a transmission failure.
What a shame.
So, for what seemed to be a fantastic day for them, Dovizioso starting 9th, Nowak in 14th. Has quickly descended into, well, the worst possible situation. Both the cars, they're the first two out.
Yeah. I think Josh won't be happy to see this.
He won't be happy to see this, but at the same time, the team is winding up. Nowak not going to be able to find the time to continue running the team. So I'm not sure if he'll be unhappy, but it'll definitely hurt him to see the cars break down like that.
Yeah, it's always a shame if your both cars get a problem or just crash or...
Here we go, Rinyaho into the yellow flag zone.
Wow. I think Hansley's catching him.
Yellow flags are gone, so we'll have a look here, and we have Hansley catching about 0.2 per sector. Yeah. Sigulakis on a similar fuel strategy, it seems. As we see, Utz is definitely running quite heavy.
Yeah.
Lindner here into the top 10 again. This seems to be his bogey zone. He gets to around the top 10 and then he'll do something spectacular that usually involves losing a wheel.
Yeah. Let's hope not so this time.
Exactly, we hope not. Though it does provide good commentary when it happens.
Yeah. Spectacular moments.
As we have a look back, here's McNamara in the green and gold 2KF1.
He's already gained four positions, I guess. No, 5.
Strong move there from the Australian, and he moves past Andy Black, who now has to worry about Rautavaara. Andy Black, of course, he sees Apex as his rival team, and I think no doubt he'll see Rautavaara as his biggest rival in FFG at the moment. So he won't want to give the Finn any room, and I'm pretty sure he gave him no room at all then.
No.
But behind them, as Hunsley takes another fastest lap, behind them...
Yeah, he's really catching.
We do see Dewald Nall. Not too bad so far. 16th.
No.
He started 21st, 2 cars out, so he's definitely made up at least 3 positions on merit, in a way.
Yeah.
We'll have a look behind, see Barrett, Chaco, and Saeed.
The telemetry shows that Hunsley is just 0.6 seconds behind. 0.7.
Closing right in on his teammate as Engbrink moved past Utsa, was it perhaps? I'm not sure.
No, I'm not sure as well.
I think it was Utsa because Burner had already moved by.
Yeah.
As we see another yellow flag.
Hmm.
And it's Saeed.
Oh, Saeed.
And that seems to be, that's the end of his race, and that's a transmission failure as well.
What a shame for him as well.
So we've already started seeing some of the cars aren't going to make the distance. We've seen 2 that have already failed with the high speeds.
And this is the 3rd one.
So Cedars, they brought in a large upgrade of speed, but that so far hasn't really worked for Saeed. You probably would have preferred the car to make the distance.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Rinyaho, he's holding position. Yellow flags are gone. Just under 5/10 of a second between the two DTKs.
This is going to be a nice battle.
No doubt the manager, Mr. Ladd, he'll be hoping that they don't do anything rash, they don't do anything foolish. Of course, we saw in Melbourne, and that is.
Ooh. Yeah, it's close.
You can tell Rinyaho isn't playing number 2 driver anymore.
No. You really stepped up when Hunsley made a mistake.
Rautavar a little bit wide, seems to be okay. That just allows Nell to get a little bit closer. As now they've actually moved up a few positions. Rob Sharp's now in the 10. Lindner's now in 8.
Great job.
Now, actually, we'll stay with this because this is shaping up to be something quite interesting.
Yeah. Oh,
McNamara and Ockelsager. Harvey as well, he's going to have his hands full with Sharp. The Evo GP is definitely a very strong car at the moment.
Yeah, the last few races is doing a great job. Mr. Utzer did a great job of managing the team. He's picking up the pieces where the old Evo GP left behind.
And for sure, it is a shame to see and to hear and to know that the team won't be returning in either Evo GP or online Martini racing form next season. But we feel that it'll happen eventually, probably. But
yeah, for sure.
We'll look back because we have seen a couple of cars go missing. So there's Utsa, actually. He's found himself down in 19th. And I'm not sure how that's happened.
He made a big mistake. I'm not mistaken.
Not sure when that's happened, how it's happened. I don't think he's pitted.
No.
So there is a large mistake that's happened to Utsa that's put him down in 19th.
Big shame. And Rinho still leads with Hunsley behind.
Rinho is actually now pulled out to 1.5 seconds over Hunsley, so I'm not sure what's happened there. But that has allowed... Sigalakis is definitely catching... Well, he's caught up. Whether or not he's actually catching.
Maybe Hunsley and Rinho made a bit of a bump, and Hunsley was maybe losing some time behind him.
As we'll have a quick look back again. Berner, Ingbrink, Foro still in 7th. McNamara's now moved past Harvey into 10th.
He's already gained 8 positions.
Harvey,
the man who won the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Ockelsager down 1, but still running strongly. Rautavara Nell has moved up to 14th. And that's a fantastic effort for the South African.
Yeah, he's doing a great job in his first race.
Black, Keranen, I think he may have just gone past Barrett, who now has his teammate. I'm not sure if he's moving that slowly on purpose or not, as Keranen has shown himself the door.
What a shame.
So, yep, there he goes.
Just a massive off.
That'll be the end of his day. He'll be devastated, I think, to bring the special new livery to the race and to promptly put it in the wall.
Yeah.
But we look back to the front as Hunsley, once again over that lap, brings it down 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, just having a little bit better pace than Rinho at the moment. But Sigalakis is also not far behind.
We're still seeing yellow flags. That's why it's quite high in the sky.
Yep.
The marshals seem to be not 100% getting that car down behind the fence. Unless, of course, there is a second yellow flag.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure about that, though. As the yellow flags do go away now. So riding on board here with Rob Sharp.
In what position is Rob Sharp? Is it 8?
9th, I believe. Confirmation there.
9.
We thank the live feed, the Italian televisions, for giving that to us so promptly.
Yep.
Jacko here, having a look at Barrett.
The two teammates.
I think the best case scenario for these two guys is to keep their noses clean and let everything else pan out in front of them.
Yeah. At least that's what the Evo GPs did the last few races.
And they definitely profited from that. And now they're in the position where they don't have to anymore.
No.
As there's Sharp right there. He's gone past Lindner. I'm not sure if there's a problem. Yep, there's a problem for him.
He's a problem.
He's a long way from the pits. I'm not sure. It seems to be a brake problem. So if he can make it back around, this is not the place you want to have a brake problem.
No.
Probably Monaco is the only other place.
Yep.
Unless here comes Harvey, can't sneak by. Of course, these two had a coming together in Spa. Harvey was gracious enough, in a way, you could say, to put Lindner through the pit lane.
Yeah.
Not sure if he was particularly happy about it, but he did
I
it
don't
nonetheless.
think so. It, of course, all happened because Engbrink bounced off Hunsley.
Yeah, slightly controversial move, but move that happened nonetheless. Now, meanwhile, we look to the front where there is a move happening a little bit. Hunsley back to 0.5 of a second. 0.3 of a second behind his teammate.
He's now really catching.
Sigalakis is there, just ready to pick up the pieces, need be. Hopefully he won't be picking up a tyre to the front wing. But he's there.
Of course, he wants his first victory.
Yes, one of the few drivers in at the front of the field that is still waiting on one. Of course, there are quite a few drivers across the entire field waiting.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's now right there on Hunsley. The DTK is having a mistake and tripping over each other.
Oh, there goes Sigalakis.
Has a look down the inside, thinks better of it. So now he pulls out of the slipstream down the front straight. Toyota versus Ferrari power. DTK versus Speedy. Down towards the first corner, and Sigalakis moves ahead.
Quite impressive.
So Sigalakis stamping his foot. He wants this race.
Yeah, for sure.
So we move to the front. Rin Yaho. Through the chicane, no problems.
And he's catching 0.5 of a second.
This might be a blessing in disguise for Rin Yaho. Sigalakis is now behind, but if Hunsley continues to battle with Sigalakis, Rin Yaho might be able to sneak away, and I think he's on a longer first stint than the other two.
That could work in his advantage.
For sure. So we see Lindner a long way up ahead there. Here comes Hunsley down the back straight.
No, I don't think no. But this is the exact same move Sigalakis did, and yep, maybe.
I'm not sure, but it seems to me that the DTK is running out of a bit of puff down the straight.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought that Sigalakis would have been able to make the move before the corner.
Burners in the pits. The first man to pit.
So now the strategy game begins. Sigalakis is still battling with Hunsley. Sigalakis is in this lap. Huntsley loses a lot of ground.
Yeah, if he wants to win his race, he has to get past Sigalakis.
Burner, that's not a bad pit. He's still in the top 10.
Yeah.
It seems. Rinyaho. Here's Barrett making a large lock up into the first corner.
Gets away with it.
He should get away with it. Seems to be going on a much longer first stint. So we'll see where that'll have him at the end of it.
Chaco pulled out a big gap towards Barrett, I think.
Huntsley now is into the pit lane. Sigalakis is into the pit lane.
Quite interesting. Now it all begins.
So Rinyaho isn't in. Deal's gone through. Engbrink goes through. I think Foro seems to be pitting this next lap. Have a look back. Here comes Huntsley. So he's popped out ahead of Sigalakis.
The DTK boys did a great job of
seemingly
making a quick stop.
More in. Here comes Sharp.
In 7th, great job. McNamara on 8. And there are the 2 apexes.
Nell, so far going very strongly. Superb effort.
Yeah, he's moved up quite the places. And if I'm not mistaken, he's already gained 10 positions or something like that.
About that, yes.
So he's doing fine.
On board here with Pablo Deal down the back straight. Lap 19 of 53. Lindner going. I think he's going to the finish by the looks of that. He's fuel to go. So if anything happens in front of him, he'll just be driving through it. Not sure how his tires are gonna like that by the end, but nonetheless, Foro's into the pit lane now.
Engbrink was a bit higher fuel, I guess. He's got 4.4.
He's definitely got a bit more than the guys ahead, or at least Deal, I believe. So he'll go a little bit longer in order to get on the same strategy as Huntsley, let's say. He'll be able to put in a bit less fuel, so for sure it's a very interesting game when you start getting down to the fuel and tyres and whatnot.
Maybe he can pull out a one-stop.
Well, here is Engbrink. Deal is going to be in this lap, I believe.
If I'm not mistaken, he is.
We'll have a look. Couldn't see anyone going into the pits, not entirely sure. We'll find out in a moment. There he is, Deal into the pit lane. Then.
So now it's interesting in which position he comes. Maybe he jumps Sigalakis, maybe he even jumps Huntsley, we don't know.
He'll be hoping to get a little bit closer to Huntsley, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As we ride on board with Engbrink, he's now in P2. He's a long way behind Rinyaho, and he's a long way ahead of Huntsley. But Huntsley does have a pit stop in hand, of course.
So he's driving in no man's land.
But it'll be interesting to see how he can drive through it. Rinyaho. Ooh, Rautavara.
Oh, Rautavara.
And he gives up the position to Foro. And I can only imagine Nal is going to be right on the back of him quite quickly.
Only a few tenths behind.
Now then, here is Hunsley. He's got over 3 seconds to Sigalakis already. I think a lot of that was through the pit stop. Nonetheless, here is Lindner getting shown the blue flags. He's getting told to get out of the way. And out of the way he gets. Rinyaho goes past him, easy as that. We're on lap 22 and he's found himself a lap down.
That's quite early.
It's a bit of a shame for him because he was running in the top 10 again. But,
Yeah.
A brake problem. It means you just can't put in... You can't go anywhere near top speed. And on a track like Monza, if you're not near top speed, you're not anywhere.
You're right.
And that was probably the cruelest possible thing, that he's had to go the best part of an entire lap in order to make it back around.
It happened just after the pit lane.
Still. As we saw on the front nose of the DTK there, DTK have taken the radical step to put on some Lucky Charms in a hope that they might work for the championship leader Hunsley.
Yeah.
So far, they seem to be working, though, of course, it happened around about this time, as Engbrink pits,
is in the pits,
that Hunsley was taken out. Oh well.
Now it's quite interesting what position he gets.
Again, Foro locks up at the exit of the Ascari chicane, and that's just going to let Ratavara back through. No questions asked.
So you're just squabbling a bit.
So something not quite right with the Cedars if it's locking up in a part of the track that really should be taken flat out.
Yeah. Of course, in the early part of the season, the Cedars were really quick, and now they just lost a bit of pace.
They've lost a little bit. They've been focusing a bit on qualifying, and they've been struggling for race pace quite often this year, but at the same time they've been able to they've been able to do well with what they've had. Much like Apex. Yeah. Apex have definitely been punching above their weight in terms of the car performance. I don't think it's been quite as good as they would have wanted, but the two drivers, Ratavara and Harvey, have definitely driven very well with what they've had.
Yeah, although they do have the worst luck of all the cars.
Oh yes, and their team manager will he'll be very quick to tell you all about that.
Yeah.
Still, Foro up the inside there of Ratavara, nice job, easily done. As Rinyaho, he's still not looking towards the pits, he's still going.
22 seconds ahead of Hunsley.
Question is that enough that he should pop out back ahead? I'm having to think. He's gone 24 laps.
I think he's planning a one-stop.
It seems it, but then at the same time, I think Hunsley and maybe Sigalakis, they were going for around 24 laps in their second stint. So he might be one-stopping, that is correct, but it might just be that he's taken his first stint longer in an effort to maybe really catch up on Hunsley in the second stint.
If he wants to make a one-stop, he has to put in around 30 laps of fuel, and that's making him slow as well.
I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure, but I think DTK definitely weren't expecting him to be in the lead by the time that Hunsley pitted. They were probably expecting him to be fighting with Utsa, but I think he's exceeded their expectations there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, speak of the devil, here is Utsa. P13, not the greatest day so far for him. Been struggling of late, Ben Utsa. His on-track performances haven't been so great, but he's been looking at his team, the OMR Evo GP squad, and he's been think he's been happy with how they've been going recently.
Yeah. They did a great job the last few races. Rob Sharp with a few points positions. Dimas with a few points positions. And now you have Nel. And I don't know where he is, but...
Running strongly.
Yeah, he's 11th
at the moment, yeah. But you mentioned Dimas, you know, we will always remember him for the amazing efforts he never really put in, but we will remember him.
Yeah.
Richest man in Formula FG. Sigalakis here. Rinyaho pitting then. So now we see where he'll pop out.
Maybe even behind Sigalakis, don't know, but...
It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
We want to see where he pops out. We also want to see...
There he is.
How much fuel he's put in. He's put in 31 litres, so he's going to the end.
He's doing a one-stop. And he's behind Sigalakis. Yeah.
Yes, he is. As I think I saw McNamara also enter the pits. There you go, confirmation.
So in the first part of the race right now, I think he will lose a lot of ground, but at the end, when Hunsley and Hunsley and Sigalakis pit again, I think he will make his ground.
For sure. But he's going to have to put in some good laps for Rinyaho because Hunsley is he's 4 seconds ahead of Sigalakis, and so he's about 5.5 seconds behind Hunsley. He's going to be losing if consistently. If he's around 18 seconds behind when Hunsley pits, Hunsley will probably it'll be close enough to be able to retake the lead in the final stint, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go through the field as it is right now. So we have Hunsley leading, Sigalakis in second. They've both pitted once, and they'll be looking to pit again probably. Rinyaho is in third. Deal. Burner. Ingbrink in sixth then. Forrow's in seventh with Harvey, who's just gets overtaken by Dewald Nell in his first race. He's up to 8th. Fantastic effort from the rookie.
Yeah.
Oots is in 10th after a mistake earlier in the race. Sharp's in 11th. Is Chaco McNamara having just pitted. Barrett, Ockelsager, Rautavara, I think he's pitted quite recently as well. Andy Black and Christian Lindner rounds out the race really. We have Karen and Saeed and the two Elite 2s out so far.
Yep.
But we will take a break now from the Italian Grand Prix. We will be back right after this.